I'm actually really gutted that tomorrow is the last episode because honestly,
next
like,
week.
next week is the last episode. Honestly, like the Disney Plus stuff we've been getting is kind of naff.
It's shit.
You know, it's
Massively
really
shit.
naff. Like
Miss
I want,
Marvel's dropped off as well. The last 2 episodes I've not enjoyed.
Yeah,
It's
it
still a
hasn't been
sweet
that.
show. Like, it's still sweet, but it's just naff.
There's not enough shock. There's not enough shock in it for you.
No, it's
Good
just
writing.
the action's a bit silly in it. Like, I prefer all the stuff that they're doing, talking about all the family dynamic, like that stuff. They're nailing it, you know.
Yeah,
and
that's a lot of this.
partition.
Yeah, like the first 3 episodes of Ms. Marvel, I'll agree with you. The first 3 episodes were really good, really interesting. I was really into it. There was enough tension to kind of keep me invested in that end of it, but yet there was still the fun family dynamic and all that. But now this like 3rd episode's like all wham bam, thank you, ma'am, riding motor scooters through the street, and I'm like, kind of don't want this
and
anymore.
It's a new setting, new characters to kind of get used to, and there's only 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
So let's see. You know, I mean, I hope they kind of just show the Jinn in the next episode and all this kind of stuff, like because she's in the past and she's going to see her great grandmother and all this kind of stuff. So as long as the next episode's interesting, you can kind of let this one slide as a setup to this episode, but they're losing the audience, so they need to be careful. Let's hope
it's just becoming very generic, you know. All these shows, they're really fucking generic. Nothing that special anymore. The writing hasn't been that fabulous, you know. It's not that deep, you know. And I'm just getting kind of fed up.
I've got a video coming out tomorrow. Plug that basically talks about what happened to Kenobi. And I said it in one of our reviews. I'm not going to spoil it here, but I said it in one of our reviews what my fears were about the show, and sadly it was right. And so I've got a video, but in the video I also talk about Disney Plus can do its thing. It's fine. We've got Amazon and Netflix producing way better stuff. So if Disney wants to go down the generic route and bore us to death with their products, that's fine. We'll just switch off from that and move on to
a degree, Ginger, because they're doing it with properties I give a fuck about. They're doing it with Marvel. They're doing it with Star Wars. I care about those properties.
Me too, but I'll happily abandon them if they're not going to be good. Like Andor, I don't care. I know what's going to happen in Andor. Again, when you watch the video and you say what somebody said, you're going to know where they're going to go with Andor in this. So it's just like, well, there's no fucking point in watching that bloody show then. Or any other show, if this is what this individual insists on with everything. So it's heartbreaking when it's a property that you like, but what are you going to do? You know, the best thing you can do is not watch it or give it any attention anymore.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
okay, so you...
go ahead.
No.
I just was going to say, just to follow up with Ginger, I mean, I am probably going to give Andor a shot, but I agree with you, like with the Star Wars stuff, like between Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, like Obi-Wan, I didn't even care about, like really. Like it was better than I thought it would be, but that's because, as we've said, you went in with high expectations and, you know, and you really were disappointed.
Yeah.
I went in with low expectations. I was like, meh, it's all right. But that's still really bad, you know? Like that's why I'm like, I want to give Andor a shot because I do want to see kind of that rebellion version of things. But you're right. Like if Andor is just shits the bed, then I'm kind of out of options with Star Wars. And I'm not as huge of a Star Wars fan as any of you guys are. I like Star Wars, but I'm more of a not Jedi person. So it's like, you know, when these things come, like, you know, when a show like Andor comes along and it shits the bed, like Andor is probably going to be my Kenobi. Like as excited as Ginger was for Kenobi,
they'll shoehorn a Jedi in there somehow, man. Trust
me.
I
mean, look, like Andor, I was also excited about because I like Rogue One is a masterpiece.
Masterpiece.
And so I want more of that. I want more of the rebellion and all that. And you're right. I don't want the fucking Jedi in this. They're gone. Go away. You know, let's have everyone else kind of share the limelight. But I just given knowing what I know now, it's just I know where they're going to go with this, and it's just not going to be. I mean, look at the fucking trailer for Andor. There was no aliens in there.
Yeah, that's what scares me too. Is that there was no originality? Maybe they're still working on the CGI with aliens. Maybe that's my only saving.
I hope so.
Not this late stage in the game.
But it's
late.
Honestly. I was going to say it's late.
Yeah,
yeah.
Also, I was watching. So Okay, I want to make something clear here. Okay, I said it in Twitter the other day because I saw this lesbian couple, let's be honest, lesbian couple say it on a stream. They go, Disney is appealing to a demographic that they don't know which demographic it is, but what they are appealing to is white liberal guilt. And I thought that hits the nail on the fucking head. Because they think they're appealing to a certain demographic, but they're not. What they're trying to do is make white liberals feel better about themselves that they're appealing to this demographic. And the people watching are like, but this is garbage. This is to the detriment of telling a good story. And I just thought, thank you. The demographic this is where you need people in that demographic to speak out against this. This is now a female author, a lesbian couple, and another woman who I follow, Tara Mooney, who have all spoken out against Disney's abysmal just track record on basically writing women and its demographic targets. It doesn't know what it wants.
Yeah, they're very hypocritical within their own company and how they treat their staff in their fucking theme parks and stuff like that. And yeah, when they put them in these particular products as well, I don't want to necessarily shoehorning, but what they're giving us with these people in it, whether it be ethnic minorities like myself, I'm an ethnic minority regarding being in America and stuff like that, but gay people, all of that, is that they're giving us shit, make it good, make it really fucking good. Look where Ms. Marvel's going. They're doing the first fucking Pakistani superhero, and it's terrible. It's going that way, unfortunately. And I'm not surprised they've done it with Moon Knight as well. Jewish superhero. It's fucking terrible. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing is like with Ms. Marvel, if you take all of the Pakistani things out of it, it makes it so much more less interesting. That's the things that make it interesting, and it's like
I agree
around that. Not
but the cultural aspects are far more interesting than the superhero sides.
That's what I'm saying.
Moment they start, I can sometimes forget that I'm watching a superhero show until they have to go all superhero-y. But it just feels like one of those regular teen dramas until she has to get a fucking bracelet on and stuff like that. And I find the teen drama aspect to be far more interesting. I can watch stuff which is not necessarily catered for me, like things like Sex and the City and stuff like that, which I've always enjoyed every time.
The characters are good.
Yeah.
Like Sex and the City was fascinatingly good fun to watch. The L Word was a lot of fun to watch because the characters were good. They were very well written, and I'm not the demographic. Though for the L Word, I could argue maybe I am because it's lesbians, but
the Golden Girls, for fuck's sake, 4 old women.
Golden Girls, legendary.
How can someone like me appreciate that? But I do. You can watch stuff with different demographics of people, whether it be gay, straight, fucking white or not, and it just has to be fucking good. It just has to be fucking good. At the end of the day, make it fucking good. And that's all that fucking matters.
But and the thing is as well, don't the key to writing good characters and good story is do not make what the person's sexuality or gender identity is the core of who they are. You can have situations surrounding that individual that play into that, but if that's their only identity, you don't make them interesting. What you're trying to do is you're trying to shove something down a throat without making it interesting. And this is the problem as well. We have that. And there was a guy, a writer for Marvel Comics, who's bringing in like someone from the Spider-Verse who's gay, but the writer said, this doesn't define his character. He's just gay. What defines his character is the situations he's in, the battles that he fights, and that's it. He goes, I don't want none of this because he goes, that's just bad writing. I thought, yeah, spot on.
Look, Star Trek Discovery did that well with Culber and
I was just thinking that.
And Stamets, but there is a difference though. There is a difference because it's set in the future where people don't give a fuck. Unfortunately, though, Ginge, in this day, if we're doing stuff on the present day, you are still going to come across neckbeards who do give a fuck that somebody's gay, or who do give a fuck that somebody's an ethnic minority and stuff like that. No, and that might play into certain scenarios.
No, but that's what I mean. If it plays into a certain scenario, I get it, but don't have the character have it like that's all they do and talk about, and they do this and they can't do that. Like it becomes a thing that draws away from, say, what they are as a person in terms of their abilities, in terms of their friendships, in terms of how they handle situations and all this kind of stuff. Because if you just make it about the one thing, then they're just not interested. And I'm not. This isn't just me saying this. This is other writers that say this stuff, and writers from the demographic.
It is a balance, though. It's easier said than done sometimes, because to get that balance right on paper, it might come across one way. On
I
screen,
disagree. It's very easy. It's very easy to do. It just the problem we have at the moment is the pandering to white liberal guilt. That's the problem we have. And this is why you're having these characters that are so bland and one-dimensional, because they're being defined by one characteristic, whereas every other person on this planet is defined by many characteristics and many flaws and many situations. And this is look, I know this stuff because I've done my writing course. I know my stuff, all right? And this is what they tell us. Don't make your characters one-dimensional. Make them interested, multifaceted. Make it true to life. You didn't go through life coasting on one personality. You've had to change and adapt, or change others around you and influence others around you because of who you are and all this kind of stuff. It's just basic knowledge.
So do you think there's shows like, in order to incorporate what you said, do you think that shows like Ms. Marvel and stuff needs to be more than 6 episodes? Or can that all be done in 6 episodes?
Ms. Marvel can be done in 6 episodes. Where Ms. Marvel is lacking is the action. The action side of it, and that side of it is just not interesting enough.
It's not.
We've already established her character within the first 2 episodes. They did a really good job of understanding her culture and the situations that she's in. We did that in the first 2 episodes, and they did it really, really well. But what they now are failing to do is make the action more interesting and the kind of plot interesting.
And I agree with you to a point, but it also feels like the action at this point after episode 2 is very forced.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah.
Like, I kind of wish that I said in the beginning of Ms. Marvel, I didn't want there to be like a super villain. I just want her to get these powers, discover these powers, figure them out. I didn't need, I don't need some organization going after, like, I don't need some Jinn organization going after, or not organization, but like clandestine people going after her and everything. Like, why can't there just be a ground level? She's stopping like robbery. She's stopping like, saving people's lives, saving kittens, but also dealing with at-home things with her parents and sneaking out and all these other things.
Exactly. And then it doesn't get to the point, and then you could have it where it gets to the point where she goes to Pakistan to kind of learn more about the history of all of these things. But you don't need people chasing her to get there. When she gets there, then it unlocks this kind of different world of holy shit and moving into the past. You could have done it that way. But I agree, it should have just been a street level thing. No massive villain, maybe a crime boss or something like that.
Well, we talked about the Tracksuit Mafia maybe making
or the Tracksuit Mafia being in it. Yeah.
No, but you see, what I want is that now we've had a plethora of fucking television shows from Marvel. It's like now she's in the past. I want the fucking TVA to come in. I don't like the fact that we have all these different shows and they're not crossing over in any capacity whatsoever. And I think it's very important that you do some of that. TVA was established last year. She's back in time. Maybe she's not supposed to be back in time. They're gonna like come in. And
are we sure she's not like hallucinating in the bangle or something like that?
Or if I mean, I'm just saying, if whatever it may be,
no, I agree with Sam.
It might be a paradox. It might be a paradox as well. She's supposed to do what she's supposed to do, because like they mentioned about the trailer stars and stuff like that, and somebody leading the way and all of that. It could be her all along, but nevertheless, I want to see. I don't want this. We're having this show and we're having this show. And we're having this show. I want shit from that show to collide with shit from this show. Like that's what it needs to be done. Like stop crossing over the shows.
But have it also with Loki, they kind of broke the timeline as well. So would it be more difficult to kind of track what she's doing now as well? So there's always that element as well.
Well, but the TVA is still around.
I know, but maybe they're battling with the kind of fractured timeline, unless it's a TVA from the 1940, when was it, 47 or 48 partition?
Well, there's 42, wasn't it? No, just after 42. No, I don't know.
It was after that. No, it was after the Second World War. It was like 48.
It was 48, I want to say.
Okay, so I'm just going by what happened in the flashback scene in episode 3.
Oh, we're not talking Loki. We're talking Miss Marvel. I'm like confused. I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, no. We're talking Miss Marvel now. Okay. About partition, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see the TVA.
And the real only crossover we've gotten is Yelena Belova in Hawkeye, like that, and that's from a movie to a show.
Yeah.
What else have we really seen? Nothing. I think one of the.
Oh, we got Monica Rambeau in WandaVision. She was in.
Yeah, but she still hasn't shown up in the Marvel.
And we got Randall Park's character as well from Ant-Man in WandaVision as well.
Okay, so we got one. That's two. I still Monica Rambeau. Well, okay, no, you're right, because she was a kid in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one show crossing over. That's two shows crossing over. WandaVision had a couple, and then
Hulk obviously being She-Hulk, but that's kind of like, there's a correlation there.
Oh yeah, when's that coming out? That's coming out soon, isn't it?
50 August. Days, 30 days, I think. Hold on.
Shit, fucking hell.
I know, I got it on my tracking app. It's what I use to track all you guys, find out where you're at.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like it's some I just saw this one video from this one particular guy who mentioned how naff like the stuff from Disney Plus is, and I thought, you know what, you're absolutely fucking right. Yeah. And I wanted to be good. I want everything I fucking watch to be good.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, the Disney Plus stuff is like, the more you think about it, the more it's like, don't give me fucking Daredevil. I don't want Daredevil. They're gonna ruin Daredevil. Don't give me Luke Cage.
I wouldn't mind him maybe showing up in the movies, but even then, if he shows up in like the Spider-Man movie,
shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I want them to do a Daredevil show. I really don't know.
I don't.
And I know Charlie Cox is like, oh, you can do a PG-13, and I'm like, but do we want you to though?
We don't want you to, and he's probably just going to get sidelined by Karen anyway. She'll be like a martial arts expert, and Dewey's suddenly black. So this is probably what would happen in the Disneyverse.
I'm just worried. We've already seen like R-rated stuff anyway, but prior to Disney taking over Marvel, and we know what Blade's like, and I think it's going to be terrible. Regardless of Mahershala Ali being a good actor, I think it's going to be absolutely fucking shit. When it does fucking happen.
And the more you think about Phase 4, the more you're like, it's really directionless at the moment. Like, really,
it needed to end.
It's more of a just chuck out a load of characters because we can. Because to be fair to Disney, the way I see it is, once they get to F4 and X-Men, that's it. Nobody's going to give a fuck about what any new character they bring out from there, unless they're tied to the X-Men. Then nobody's going to care, because if you bring out someone like even Wonder Man after the fact of F4 and X-Men, no one's going to fucking care about that. Like, we've got Echo coming out. Who the hell wants to watch Echo?
Yeah, Echo's probably going to be their introduction with Daredevil and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't know. They've already said that Charlie Cox is supposed to come back in that, and obviously he's supposed to make an appearance in She-Hulk. And I'm like,
yeah, Eccles was my original pick for either Cyclops or Gambit, because he could have played either character.
He would have played a good fucking Cyclops. Or
Gambit. I would have picked him for Cyclops. As I said, if you put Eccles as Cyclops, I would have been on board with a new X-Men First Class in the MCU. Like, with him as lead actor. Fuck Wolverine. We don't need Wolverine right now.
No, we don't need Wolverine. I'd rather not get Wolverine for a long time. But I tell you what, who'd make another good Cyclops or Gambit. If you watch The Man from Toronto, which is a terrible film, but there's a character in there called The Man from Miami, and he would be perfect as a Cyclops or Gambit.
You're talking that from Woody Harrelson?
Yeah.
And anything with what's his name? What's the name of that?
Kevin Hart.
I fucking hate Kevin Hart. I'm sorry. There's something about him that makes me. He irritates me.
He just plays the same character.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Every movie.
Same character. He's done it to death.
I'm fed up of actors playing the same character all the fucking time, and he's not an actor.
That's a great choice, Gary. Booster Gold.
He's my choice for Booster Gold.
Great choice.
Yeah. Jensen Ackles would make a good Booster Gold as well.
He could do a lot of fucking characters.
He's great.
He could play Superman, for fuck's sake.
Eccles could do anything.
I think it would be.
I've loved him since Dark Angel.
It would be meta as hell if Jensen Ackles and the other guy from Supernatural came back and did Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. And I think that would be absolutely hilarious. I would love it. I would absolutely love it.
A lot of people are championing Anthony Starr to play the Reverse Flash.
I mean, that could work.
But he would be pretty much Homelander, his character of Homelander as the Reverse Flash. You know what I mean? Because they're very similar, in my opinion. They're fucking bit skits, bit nuts. And, well, it depends on which version of the Reverse Flash you play. But if you played Earbud Fawn, for instance, he would be very much like that. So, yeah. Okay, we've been yabbering on for a bit now. Anything more to add, fellas? Anything at all?
Well, let's now talk about the DC universe. No, I'm kidding.
But considering I'm really unhappy with what Star Wars and Marvel are doing, I am very happy recently with what Star Trek's doing. It seems to be getting its shit together.
At least you've got that, yeah.
Yeah, and as well as the Orville, as I said, so you can see when some shows are doing it right, and unfortunately some shows ain't. And I really do feel Disney are just using the reputation of Star Wars and Marvel just to churn out shit which is not very good.
Control V with all their programs. That's Disney. That's Disney to a T. They do it with all their Pixar and their Disney cartoons, and they're doing it now with the MCU and
the Pixar stuff used to be much watch. The Pixar stuff used to be so must watch, and then they brought out Cars, and then it just kind of went downhill after that. You know,
it was better before. Who was the previous CEO of Disney? Not the current one, who's a prick.
Bob Iger.
Yeah, him. Before Iger, it was Pixar was good. When Iger came in, it was just sequel.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm trying to remember who that was before Iger.
I think it was Eisner.
That was a long time ago, though, wasn't it?
It was a long time ago, but
Iger's been in there for was in there for 15 years, 20.
Yeah,
something like that.
But it was after the Invincibles where Pixar just went downhill. There's not many good ones. I think it's like Up and that's about it.
Invincibles 2, Incredible.
I heard Invincibles 2 was really good.
I didn't mind that too much, but I didn't think Up was that great. By the way, I didn't like it that much. I wanted to, but it just didn't float my boat.
Honestly, Up hit everybody in the feels in the beginning, but then after that, I agree. Up was kind of just
towards the like from the middle onwards, it's like
yeah. But I think it hit good in the beginning, but after that, it was just like. I think you were still running on emotional fumes.
For me, Disney's best cartoon post all that is Tangled. I love Tangled.
Tangled's my favorite.
Mine too.
Seen that.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's so funny,
and it's
good.
So
funny. It's ridiculously funny. Like the bar fight where she smacks the guy in the head. Oh, that killed me. Because we played a lot of Disney stuff at my old job because the students kind of like their Disney cartoons and all of that.
No, we know, Ginger. You just sit around watching Disney cartoons.
Oh, of course, yeah.